Good morning, students. We've been looking into the lifelines of Indian economy and any national economy for that matter. And yes, you can see that the whole laptop screen is white because the NCRT site today apparently has gone on strike and the NCRT strike is not working. So, as you can see, there is an error which is being posted here by the site. Now, coming back to the topic where we were yesterday, that is international trade and uh, just to the importance of international trade cannot be emphasized any further because we all know mm, even even the poorest of the countries on this planet know the significance of international trade, and they know that they are poor because their international trade is very poor, the condition of international trade, because if you remember, that's what I discussed yesterday, that for the trade to happen, whether it is between two states for that matter within the same country, like for India, for example, between the state of Orissa and, say, for example, the state of Haryana, Orissa should have something that it can offer that Haryana wants, and Haryana should have something to offer which Orissa wants, right? So, similarly, international trade for hundreds and thousands of years has been working on the same principle. You should have something that I want, I should have something that you want. Otherwise, then this trade becomes a one-sided one, and it is just a matter of time that you are spending more than you are making. The money that you are spending uh, to purchase items is far more than what you are producing, which the international market is interested in, and what you would find that there would be a balance of payment deficit, and your country would be staring at economic ruin. Okay, so India. So coming to the international trade, the second paragraph, as the resources are space bound. Okay, we did that. India has trade relations with all major trading blocs and all geographical regions of the world. Among the commodities in export, the share of agriculture and allied products has been 8.64%, base metals 6.91%, gems and jewelry 17%, chemicals and related products 12% in 2016-2017. The commodities imported to India include petroleum, crude, and products. Students, this happens still to be the our biggest import, which is petroleum and crude oil, because India is deficient in terms of its availability of crude oil, because we do have certain in certain pockets we do have crude oil, for example in Bombay High and certain areas of Assam, but the point is very insufficient for the huge market like India, which has such a population, 1.3 billion people. It is simply inadequate. The numbers of cars on the road, the number of two wheelers, the number of public transport, leave aside the factory requirements. So it is enormous and something that we definitely do not have that kind of supply. So we have to import, and we import it in huge amount and in huge quantity. Now, coming to tourism as a trade, students, tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Foreign tourist arrivals in the country witnessed an increase of 4.5% during the year 2015 as against the year 2014, contributing 1,35,193 crore of foreign exchange in 2019. Students, look at this very interesting box, which is the annual report 2016-2017, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. um, what this says is बुलंद होती जा रही मेडिकल टूरिज्म क्षेत्र की सेहत, and India ranked world's fourth best holiday heaven, where Italy is first, New Zealand, Australia, India, South Africa, France, Thailand, Spain, Brazil, and Switzerland. Guys, this is a very now you are in class 10, so you should also use your own brains. Okay, now India ranked for world's fourth best holiday heaven. Students, when it says India ranked fourth best, that doesn't mean that it is getting international tourists internationally, where it ranks fourth internationally. No, it does not mean कि Internationally, first it was some other country, second some other, and India ranks fourth in terms of the number of tourists, international tourists it's actually receives. No, this doesn't mean that. It says India ranked world's fourth best holiday heaven. That means people want to go to India but are yet to. So this is quite, tricky one. It is just there to make you feel nice about it. Okay, but in reality, this is just kind of, a smart interaction of words and nothing else. Okay, because India is, in terms of real tourist inflows, the number of tourists, the foreign tourists, international tourists who visit India, in real terms, India is nowhere even in top 10. Okay, it is not there in top 10, and it has not been there in top 10 for as far as I can remember. Okay, it of course remains a favorite destination, of course, right? It is like कि हाँ हम संडे को मंदिर जाएंगे, लेकिन मंदिर की जगह जाएंगे कहाँ, जाएंगे तो मॉल ही जाएंगे. हाँ मंदिर जाएंगे ज़रूर यार, I really want to, बहुत दिन हो गए मंदिर गए हुए, but ultimately I would end up visiting the mall or watching a movie. So that's what exactly it is. India ranks fourth in terms of the place you would want to visit, but in terms of real actual visit, you decide to visit some other country. And when you look at the real dream destinations, these are dream destinations, right? जहाँ हम जाना चाहते हैं but पता नहीं जा पाए या ना जा पाए. Now, it says here in real terms, Italy is number one. But students, if you look at I can very, because the data was released. I remember this data internationally when it was released. It says Italy is number one, but in reality, the number of tourists actually that are received by Italy, it ranks number five in terms of real tourists who visit. Now, it might be number one, but yes, the second is New Zealand. Now, New Zealand, in terms of actual number of tourists who visit New Zealand, it is not there even in top 10. Okay, Australia similarly. India fourth. India is not there in top 10. I think Australia is somewhere in ninth or 10th. I think so. South Africa again not there. France, it's written here number six, but in reality, France is number one in terms of the number of tourists it receives internationally. Number one. It receives around 90 million tourists every year. Okay, 90 million tourists every year. It's a phenomenal, international tourists every year. It's a phenomenal number for a country, which has a size. France, that is, for a country which has a size. If you combine the states of Jharkhand and Bihar today, it would come out to be just that big, and that receives biggest tourist inflows internationally. Now, then it is Thailand in some number 7 here. Now, Thailand is slightly closer because international Thailand happens to be number 9 in terms of actual number of tourists that it receives. Now, Spain is shown here number 8, but in reality, the number of international tourists who actually visit Spain, it is second only to France. Spain receives in terms of its ranking, it's number two in number of tourists that it receives. So, guys, that is what this data is about. So you have to see it and view it intelligently, as you should in class 10, rather than just getting swayed by, अरे हमारे पास fourth number. ठीक है, it is there in terms of dream destinations, but in actual visits, we still have a lot of catching up to do. Now, directly engaged in tourism, tourism also promotes national integration. That is something, of course, we know. Uh, provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. It also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. Foreign tourists visit India for heritage tourism, ecotourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and business tourism. There is a vast potential for development of tourism in all parts of the country. Efforts are being made to promote different types of tourism for this upcoming industry. Uh, Students, definitely, I would like you to finish the exercise here. I would give it to you in the group. And now the syllabus for geography is over. Okay, we're done with geography. Tomorrow we'll start. I'll let you know what. Okay, because geography is done. Okay, pay attention, students. Though we are not in class, but pay attention. Okay, the syllabus is getting over. Exams would always be on time. Then we would really not listen to your arguments, whether it was an online class or video class or whatever it was. Please pay attention. Submit your assignments on time. Okay, thank you.